Hello, you're welcome to mathematics class. Today we're looking at word problems involving like fractions. Word problems involving like fractions. Okay, so when we say like fractions, what do we mean? We're talking about fractions that have the same denominator. Fractions that have the same denominator. Okay, look at this. Let's start by explaining what we actually mean by fraction. This is a rectangle that has been divided into four equal parts. So you can see that each of these parts is one of a whole, one out of four parts. So I'm going to call each of these 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4. Why? Because this is 1 out of 4. Can you see that you have 4 equal parts? So this is going to be 1 out of the 4. So this is 1 over 4. Also, you should know that when I had all these parts, if I had all these parts together, it will give me a whole. Addition of all these parts gives me a whole. So if I say 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 will give me 4 over 4. And 4 over 4 is 1. So if I had those 4 parts together, it will give me 1. Also, if you look at this, I have divided the rectangle into 2 equal parts. So that means each is 1 out of 2 parts. So this is 1 over 2. And that is also another 1 over 2. This is 1 over 2. This is 1 over 2. So if I add the two together, 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 will give me 2 over 2. And that is 1 whole. So this is 1 over 2 each, or you can call it half. Now these are some examples of fraction. This is divided into 2 equal parts, so each of them is 1 over 2. This is divided into 4 parts, but 2 of it is shaded, so the shaded part is 2 over 4. This also, the shaded part is 1 over 2. For this is divided into 6 parts, but 3 parts are shaded. So that shaded portion is 3 over 6. This is 3 over 6. And for this is divided into 8 parts, but 4 out of the 8 is shaded. So this is 4 over 8. So these are some examples of fractions that we have. All right, let's look at this example. My mother bought 1 orange. She divided it into 8 parts and gave I and my 4 brothers 1 part each. How many parts does she have left? So let's look at that. I and my brothers, making how many of us? 5 of us. So if she's giving 5 of us a part each, that means she has given us 5 parts. So how many does she have left? Okay, so this is a diagram to show how the orange is shared. This orange has been divided into 8 equal parts. Can you see? Do you want us to count? Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is 8 equal parts. And now she said 1 part for myself and my brother. So each of that part is 1 over 8. So if I separate 1 over 8 in 5 places, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm going to add everything together, because they are like fractions, all the denominators are the same. So I'm going to write down my denominator as 8. Then I will add all of the numerators. Okay, I hope you still remember what numerators and denominators are. This number on the top is the numerator, while the one below is the denominator. So I'm going to add all my numerator, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's 5. So this is 5 over 8. That means my mother has given out 5 over 8 of the 8 parts of the orange. So what do we have left? For me to know the part that is left, what I will do is to subtract what I and my brothers took from the whole orange. So let me see. Subtract what I and my brother took from the whole orange. Okay, so because the orange is one whole, but it has been divided into 8 parts, and that is 8 over 8. So for me to know the part that is left, I'll say 8 over 8 minus 5 over 8. Don't forget your denominator remains the same. You're just going to subtract the numerator. 8 minus 5 is 3. So this is the part that is left, 3 over 8. So because the question is asking us how many parts, it means we have 3 parts left. 3 parts left. But if the question has said what fraction was left, then I'm going to say 3 over 8 is the fraction left. Do you understand? The question says how many parts? So I'm just going to look at it. Since I have 8 parts and I've given out 5 parts, what is left is 3 parts. But if the question says what fraction of the orange is left, then I'm going to say 3 over 8 fraction is left. All right, you should note that when you're solving fractions with the same denominator, they are known as like fractions. Your denominator would not change, but you would add or subtract your numerator. You get that? Your denominator doesn't change in like fractions. Let's look at this example. Mrs. Johnson bought 2 whole number 1 over 5 cups of rice and 3 whole number 2 over 5 cups of beans. How many cups of foodstuff did she buy? Now, what do you call this kind of fraction? This is called a mixed fraction because it's a combination of a whole number and an improper fraction. So this is a mixed fraction. The question is asking how many cups of foodstuff. It simply means add a cup of rice to the cup of beans. And that will give me 2 whole number 1 over 5 plus 3 whole number 2 over 5. So when you're solving questions that involves numbers and fractions, you have to separate the whole number from the fraction. So you have the whole number separately, add the fraction separately, and then you write them beside each other. So for the whole number, I have 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Then for the fraction, 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5. Remember how we had a like fraction? The denominator remains the same while you had 1 and 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And then you write your denominator 5. So 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5 is 3 over 5. Now bring the 2 together. Write your whole number 5 and write your fraction 3 over 5. So she bought 5 whole number 3 over 5 cups of foodstuff. Remember, when you're solving word problem, your answer should be in word form. She bought 5 whole number 3 over 5 cups of foodstuff. Now let's look at this other example. Thomas spent 3 whole number 2 over 4 hours reading, 5 whole number 6 over 24 hours watching cartoons, 2 whole number 3 over 24 hours doing his chores. If he spent 15 whole number 16 over 24 hours in total, what fraction of the day did he spend sleeping? So what I'm going to do, let's add all these hours that he has spent. We'll have 3 whole number 2 over 24 with 5 whole number 6 over 24, and you add it to 2 whole number 3 over 24. That will be the total number of hours he has spent doing all that he has been doing. And then for me to know the fraction he spent sleeping, I'm going to subtract all that I've added together from 15 whole number 16 over 24, because this is the total number of hours spent that day. So let's add up the hours spent reading, watching cartoon, and doing chores. So this is 3 o number 2 over 4 plus 5 o number 6 over 24 plus 2 o number 3 over 24. So like we did the other time, you're going to add all your whole numbers separately and the fractions separately. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So this is 10. And then I'm going to add my fraction. All these fractions are like fractions. So I'm writing out the denominator 24. And then I'll add up the fraction. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So this is 10 over 11 over 12. This is the number of hours we spent reading, watching cartoon, and doing chores. So the fraction of the day spent sleeping will be equals to total hours spent minus fraction spent on reading, watching cartoon, and doing chores. So fraction of the day spent sleeping is 15 whole number, 16 over 24, minus 10 whole number, 11 over 24. So I'm going to subtract the whole number first, 15 minus 10, and then I subtract the fraction, 16 over 24 minus 11 over 24. Did you get that? Okay, so 15 minus 10 is 5. My denominator remains 24. And 16 minus 11 is 5. So this is my answer, 5 whole number, 5 over 24. He spent 5 whole number, 5 over 24 hours sleeping. Did you get that? Eating. Okay, I want you to try this for me. Let's do this. You're going to do this using the same method I've been using. Saturday bought 5 o number 3 over 7 liters of petrol on Monday and 10 o number 2 over 7 liters on Wednesday. How many liters of petrol did he buy altogether? Number 2, Tope and Shola are to share 25 o number 20 over 24 meters of clothes. Shola is to take 16 o number 14 over 24 meters. How many meters of clothes would Tope have? Number 3, Mrs. Usman gave out 3 o number 2 over 8 liters of palm oil to a friend and 5 o number 4 over 8 liters of groundnut oil to a neighbor. How many liters of oil did she give out? Okay, so try this, and if you do it very well, you should get this answer. You should get this answer. Sade bought 15 o number 5 over 7 liters of petrol altogether. Software will have 9 o number 1 over 4 meters of clothes, and Mrs. Usman gave 8 o number 3 over 4 liters of oil out. Okay, try this out and let's see if your answer is the same thing as mine. Have a nice day. Bye.